Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that many people know as a lefty or a leaf blower. This one is located on the southwest spawn of Highway, and it's under the command of Mr. B of BUSA. And yes, I do know it doesn't say that name in the list. Game on. Yes, YouTube might get upset if we were to use this real name within the first 30 seconds of any game. And any YouTube creator will probably tell you, well, they'll do anything to avoid upsetting YouTube because it might actually change about how their videos are spread. So you try to be a little careful and not use the name that might actually get you banned or shadow banned. Okay, he's trying to find a spot where he can play from. At the moment, it looks like the edge of the map is where he's headed, right over in this set of bushes over here. Now, there's nearly always somebody comes up this side of the map. In fact, it's a very rare battle on Highway if nobody does come up this side. It's normally the haunt for medium tanks because the light tanks will go into the field somewhere around about the river and spot for the tank destroyers. Meanwhile, the mediums, and there's the first one, it's a Chi-2 who turns up on the corner. Oh, that Chi-2 is taking fire from Arty-3485, who's in a good position next to the water tower. But they're being very cautious over here, and we haven't spotted any enemy tanks in the town as of yet. But we're not seeing much at all, which is pretty difficult to actually play the game as an Arty if you can't see anything to shoot at. Ah, there's another tank turned up, and it's a Cromwell. We're dialing in. This Arty does dial in fairly quickly, but if the enemy tank knows what they're doing, they will get out of the way into cover. A couple of enemy tanks have been spotted over in the town, and we've got an AT2 over here. Now, he's moving slowly, but he's got a lot of armor to carry, and that was a direct hit by the other Arty on our team. There's two Arty on either team. The enemy team have got an SU-8 and a Bishop, whereas we've got an MP304 and, of course, the Fifi La Pew Pew. Now, that target, that T-3485, is right over the other side of the map, which makes it fairly difficult to hit him. You need to be a little closer to the centre of the map in order to get a shot on target. If you're a little closer towards the centre, you can hit everywhere on the map, but if you're slightly further away, right at the edge, you might find that this Arty does actually distance out. So you need to get a little bit closer just to improve your number of targets. Okay, we've got a Bishop and a Panzer IV Schmalten. Now, we've got one of those on our team. And the Bishop, well, he's making a quick run across the railway tracks. Rounds out. That looked just about the right amount of lead. He got the shell near the target. Fires another one in. Wasn't fully dialed in, but the shell actually did land on the aim spot. Well, it looks like the enemy tanks moved away. KV-1SA, that's the auto-reloader version of the KV-1. Well, we're not doing so well at the moment. We're 4 tanks down on the enemy. They managed to wipe out our Panzer IV Schmalten on this time. That's a premium tank. They also managed to kill our little FP304, he got wiped out as well, and the KV-1 and a Cromwell. So things not going so well on our side at the moment, or in the town. We've only managed to claw one back. KV-2 fighting it out with a Churchill 7. Very close indeed to the target, and the KV-2's gone down, so at least we've clawed 2 back, and the enemy have got another one. Now, we're only 1 behind at the moment. We're dialing in on that KV-1. that landed very close. Well, not getting any hits there either. So far at this moment, Mr. B hasn't got any kills at all. In fact, that T1 Heavy just killed our guy, the Churchill 7. Fires around him, but the guy's already pulled away. Okay, we've got a Panzer F That's that tank that came in. It was a new tank fairly recently. Rounds out. Oh, that's a kill. That's a nice kill. It looks like he did get a penetrating shot. But again, we're just too far away from the enemy here. We can't reach that Stug unless we get a bit closer. Rounds out. No, we're missing these targets, mostly because we're too far away, and that's the enemy Arty trying to nail us. We're 2 down on the enemy. Now we're only 1 down again. You can see that he's trying to aim at targets which are too far away. And as a consequence, it's taking a little while for him to dial in. By the time he's dialed in, the target's gone out of sight. So we're not having a lot of luck. If you look at the amount of hit points, you can see that both sides have got about the same amount, but it's just we've lost more tanks. Like KV-1 up in the north, he's still there. T-34-85 is going to look for him. Yes, we've got nothing to shoot at. And this is very frustrating for an Arty player. There he is. The KV-1 comes into sight. The T-34-85 gets 1 accurate hit. And then he gets a kill shot. So at least now it's 9 even. And there's one of the heavy tanks in the town. T1 Heavy. We fired at that guy before and missed. Our BDR G1B is very low on hit points. They take 1 shot from that T1 Heavy to take him out. In the meantime, we're going for the Stug. Again, not fully dialed in. Okay, Stug's using that road sign for cover, but it's actually making it worse for him because he's actually showing us where he's going to shoot from. The Bishop comes into sight. We're fully dialed in. Rounds out, and he pulls away just after we shoot. A lot of what's going on here is because Mr. B is aiming at long distance at the enemy instead of getting closer. And as a consequence, his shots aren't that accurate. It's normally very accurate, but on this occasion, he's not getting it. Rounds out from the T1. That's better. Got that one on target, and he tracked the guy, but the burst has gone down to the Stug. And now we're trying to shoot at the Stug instead of the T1 Heavy. That's too long, too far away. It's too little lead. So we're now down to just 3 tanks, outnumbered 2-1 by the enemy. Our AT2 is coming back to our cap area because we've only got 3 to defend. So this is going to be difficult. We can see trees coming down on the road that's leading up to our cap. And our Panzer F5 is moving down to try and engage the enemy close to the river. So there is definitely some enemy getting closer to us. In fact, there's the KV-1SA, and Mr. B is not really paying attention. There he is. Now you've got to lead the target. Now he's a one-shot. Fires the first shot, but unfortunately it's already dead. Oh! And the SU-8 did land that one close enough to damage our tracks. So he got a critical hit on us, but he didn't damage us in terms of hit points. The Stug goes down. So far we don't really have much in the way of hit points, and the enemy Arty is trying to focus on us. Probably because he realizes we're the most effective tank or vehicle on our team. Now he's having a quick look for the bishop, but the bishop's going to have to move a lot closer. And it looks like the SU-8 is shooting from all the way over the other side of the map. He's somewhere over in grid square A9 or A10, or A0, I should say. A10. That's why there's not much reaction time, or there's plenty of time to actually avoid his shells. And there's the bishop, and the bishop is actually very close. He must have driven across the battlefield, but not been spotted. And now we've got the Nashorn in sight. Now he fires snap, and of course he's missed. The Nashorn is taking damage, but we can wipe him out with one round. Rounds out. That's it. That's better. That's more the power of this gun. Now we know the bishop is actually hiding underneath that bridge at the moment, shooting from underneath. Got no shot on him whilst he's underneath the bridge, but he can't stay under there. And he's coming forward. Grabs up. That was a direct hit at very close range, and the bishop's gone. So we've got 2 kills now. That Panzerwehr-F2 and then the Nashorn. There's still only 3 left on our team, but now there's only 2 left on the enemy team because a lot of their tanks got wiped out during that attack. They didn't coordinate it very well. So all they've got is the T1 Heavy and their SU-8. Now, in theory, we could mount an attack against them now with the AT2. You can see the other tank on our team is the Panzerwehr-F2. And of course, Mr. B saying he has good view range, which is true. But the enemy Arty is actually firing very close to him, but not hitting him. And of course, he can't see him over there because he's firing right the way over from the other side of the map. So now would be the time for him to move forward and go over to the other side of the battlefield. Join the AT2. And he's doing it. Or at least he's changing position anyway. He's got 390 meters of view range, which means if the enemy T1 Heavy does come out into the open, he might be able to get an accurate shot. In fact, there he is. He is in the open. Now, let's see if we can put a round into him. Check out where he's going. Not enough lead, but he still fires. And hear that rumble. And it takes seconds for the shell to appear, which means the SU-8 must be over right in the corner of the map. He's too far away. Oh, we've got a slight hiccup there in the program. Well, there's the 2-minute warning. We know the T1 Heavy is fairly close, and by closing the range on him, we're more likely to get an accurate hit that will kill him. We're dialing in. We fire that first round in. It misses. Now the Panzerwehr-F2 is engaging him face to face, but look at that heavy shot. Hits the T1, and now we can go for the kill. And he gets it. That just leaves the SU-8 as the last enemy tank. Yes, we may have kill-stealed that one from the Panzerwehr, and in fact, actually, we lost the Panzerwehr-F2 to their Arty. He got a hit, but now it's actually coming in our direction because the AT2 is almost at the enemy cap. We're going to have to go for a kill all because we haven't got the time to cap out now. He's looking over at the back of the map because that's where we think the enemy tank is. Just not enough time to cap. We need the AT2 to look for that target. He's telling the guy to hurry. The AT2 knows that it's not about capping anymore. You have to find the enemy and kill them. 22 seconds left on the clock. They're probably going to be right down in the dip, just like I said. In fact, actually, he's found him, and he's very close. Ground south. That's the direct hit for 150. We did lose the AT2, but one more shot. Round south. And he gets him with 1 second left on the clock. Well, Mr. B was certainly right about this one. He says, about as close as you can get it. Well, it was 1 second left on the clock when he killed the SU-8 with his second round, which was just as tightly dialed in as the last one, and it wiped him out. Now, if he hadn't got that second shot on target, then it's more than likely he would have lost sight of the enemy as he pulled away, and that would have ended up being a draw. But it was very, very close indeed. That was the third-class tanker for Mr. B of BUSA. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 11. And he got a win rate of 3,114, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage because that went to a T-34-85 on our team with 1,469, but he didn't get a high caliber because he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest damage went to the SU-8 on the enemy team, 1,254, followed by the BDR-G1B on our team, who managed 1,245 hit points. Mr. B ended up with 1,240, just beating the T1 Heavy on the enemy team with 1,235. So they're all very close together. When it came to kills, though, Mr. B got the highest number with 4. It took him a while to get round to starting to kill them, but I think that was down to the fact he was just too far away from the edge of the map, too close to the edge of the map, rather, and too far away from the enemy tanks. If he'd moved a bit closer, I think he might have got some more accurate direct hits. So 3 kills went to the SU-8 on the enemy team, and 2 kills went to the BDR, the BUSA, the Panzerfire-F5, and the Rudy Polish. And on the enemy team, the Nashorn, the Stugdrei, and the KV-1SA all got 2 kills as well. When it came to base XP, it was the Panzerfire-F5 who managed to get 789. Then we've got Mr. B with 711. And the third highest was the T-34-85 with 653. He fired 38 rounds, so he only had 12 rounds left at the end of the game, but he got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrating shots, 14 splash. Damage of 1,240, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was from the SU-8, and it was track damage. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and he earned 7,103 credits on a premium account. Excuse me. He also managed to pick up 5,761 experience points out of that one as well, including a reward, a bonus mission event, which actually earned him 4,268 experience points. So the end of the first battle is a very, very close one. Let's have a look at that figure again. It actually does say 15 minutes exactly that the battle lasted, but he got him in the last second. So yes, that was a very close one indeed. So let's have a look at the second replay, and that's featuring Andromeda. Here's the second battle, and as I mentioned, it's Andromeda of No Retreat, No Surrender, NRNS, and he's on the north spawn of, well, Serene Coast is the name, but it's actually Canada, isn't it? This is the landscape that we're seeing, and he's ready to go.
Time to roll out.
Okay, game underway, not moving though. Well, looks like the T-25-2 wants to take us with him. That's a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks in it. So we've got plenty of options to actually earn an ace tanker if we can get enough damage. You get extra XP for hitting tanks that are higher tier than your own. So if you're a tier 5 Arty, you can really earn a lot of XP from hitting the tier 7 tanks. Right, it's a good position to start from. But he's actually decided to shoot over to the peninsula rather than shooting up to the west side of the map. Rounds out the crocodile. Just overshoots. The other RT, the M41's also firing in this general direction. And that was very close. Lost sight of the crocodile now, though. It's a pity we don't actually see the flame and fire coming out of the crocodile. That was a direct hit. Wow, he actually did hit the crocodile there. It would have been nice if they'd actually shown the flame and fire when the vehicle was spotted, that is, so you could actually see flames coming out. Bit of splash damage on the Super Hellcat. Now he's letting it dial in. It's good. Fires a bit prematurely, but it's a little further to the south. Now, that Juno has gone up to the northwest corner of the map, and he pulls back. The moment he comes under fire, he knows how accurate this RT can be, and now we're firing towards it. Oh! Now he hit somebody, but it wasn't the Juno. He did get some damage on the Juno, but somebody was alongside him, and he took the main hit. How can I tell that? Well, there was no explosion, and it wasn't the Juno where the tracer ended. That's right on the M4A1. 199 from that shot. It's firing in again. No, hit the rock instead, down in the dip. Now, it's difficult to get shells to go down in the dip because of the angles. You're actually going to hit the walls on the side of the dip. But he's trying to line up a shot on the G2, put the little dot on the other side so the shell has to go through the target to get to that dot. Gets a direct hit. Lines him up again. Rounds out. Just in front of him. Guy's gone up a slope there. Slows him down a bit. Instead he switches targets to a T25, a 25 TP rather, the Polish tier 5. That guy's gone into a little depression in the ground to use his gun well, not to just use his gun depression, but to go hull down. I noticed Andromeda's doing the same thing as we saw from Mr. B. He's actually shooting at an enemy target, giving it 2 shells, and then moving on to another target instead of actually continuing to shoot at that target. I think he sees a more juicy target and he wants that one instead. Okay, the Q2 comes up and crosses the line, and you notice he had it fully dialed in on that Q2. He's ready now. The shell hits the near the buildings. Again, he's deselected the target he was going after, and he's now going after another one at the other end of the map. Now that M4 is now 1 shot, so if he can get this one on target, he might get the kill. It's a long flight time for that shell. 3.5 seconds for the shell to reach the target. And he fires and then looks away immediately, which of course is a big no-no for us, because if you do that, you're wasting the shell. Okay, he's fully dialed in. He should get a hit. Oh, the target pulls away. And again, he's right at firing from one end of the map to the other, which again is making it a long flight time for the shells and more difficult for him to get a hit. Again, he's not giving much lead on the BUSA. Now, the standard reload is 8.92 seconds. You can see his reload here is 7.85. So he's actually got nearly a second more than we saw from Mr. B in the previous game. Now, he fired that one snap, but he did get a hit. And that's a tier 7 tank. Rounds out. Again, another good hit. That's certainly going to give him some more XP. Rounds out. Here we go again. Just misses him. Now he's in cover. Nope. Now we're 1 down on the enemy at the moment. Our OI is defending the peninsula against the enemy attacks. We get a shot there. No, he's aiming for where the guy is rather than where he's going to be. Rounds out. This could hit. Yes, it did. 173 from that one. Line it up again. And the guy drives into it. He almost hesitated as well. And he got 81 hit points from that one. It's starting to work for him now. As the guy gets closer, he's getting more accurate. He's reacting to the movements of the enemy tank and putting a shell on target. Another hit, 60. That VK is really starting to suffer. Now that's going to fly in front of him. And he's seen this BUSA and he wants that target. The guy's moving up to a firing position. Again, he switches target because the BUSA's gone unsighted. But he just saw his teammate hit the M41, just hit the VK. No sighting room at the moment. We lost the OI. So nobody's spotting those tanks at the moment. We do have somebody on the island, so he can possibly see the enemy tanks they move up. It's the T-25-2. Now, he's also being aimed at by the enemy Arty, and they've also got a Fifi and an M41, so they're also, well, rapidly firing in that direction. As you can see on the minimap, lots of shells appearing. They know that the T-25-2 is theirs. They're just trying to get shots on him. And I think they did actually hit him there. But we can't see anything at the moment because nobody is spotting in that general direction. Lots of shells appearing. Well, it's gone very quiet because nobody's doing any spotting at the moment, which is another problem that Mr. B had in the last game, where when the Arty player cannot see the enemy, there's nothing much he can do. And there's the VK, and he's got a lot closer than we wanted. That's better. And he got the damage assist there because he tracked the guy and he got taken out a moment later by the T-25-2. There's the enemy RT, the M41 HMC. That was a bit of a snap. Wasn't accurate because of the snap. Manages to put a shell right on the side of him for 173. And the other RT in our team gets the kill shot. So our M41 just killed their M41. Okay, we're looking a bit too far back there. We're not likely to see anybody this far back because we've got no spotters to see that far. The only tank we are likely to possibly see will be the BUSA because, of course, he's fairly close to our Panzer IV-S Schmaltern, who's now moving on to the peninsula. But, yes, I think at the moment Andromeda's looking too far away. He needs to look a little closer to spot that BUSA. I can hear the whistle from shells now going in the direction of the T-25-2, and suddenly the BUSA appears, which I think we both anticipated, or we would have known that he was going to come into sight. But that rock is actually getting in the way. You can see it's blocking the shots, and the BUSA actually goes down to the crocodile right the way across the lake. Again, I think he's looking too far away. He needs to be a lot closer to the enemy. He's looking, in fact, for the tracer from the enemy RT, who supposedly is in that little corridor, but we don't see anything appearing from it. It's much easier as an Arty player to keep watch on where your teammates are and to look ahead of them. Look where they're likely to be seeing when the enemy comes into their view range. You're going to be looking about 200 or 300 meters ahead of them, and that's when you're anticipating for all of a sudden their tank to suddenly appear out of nowhere. Now, the enemy that we're most likely to see now will be the IS-2, who's probably going to be spotted by the Crocodile. The M4A1 and the enemy Fifi won't want to be spotted by that Crocodile, because if they do, they will die virtually immediately. But the IS-2 has got the hit points to try and fight, and so is the Juno for that matter, but for some reason the Juno is no longer firing. Only 4 enemy tanks remaining. So the only other player on our team... Oh, we just saw the Arty tracer. And there is the Juno. So the Juno has appeared. Rounds up. And there's the IS-2 as well. And they're coming under concentrated fire now. And there's the enemy Fifi. Rounds out. This should be a kill. Oh, so close. He has gone though. Now we're aiming for the IS-2. See if we can get this on target. He needs to fully dial in because, of course, the guy is sitting in a tiny little corner on that corridor. Fires one in. That's going to miss both, but it was a good try nonetheless. Now, he got a bit of a rescue blip there where it actually suddenly expanded. That's because the vehicle had to move. But he does get a direct hit on the IS-2, and that's good news because he's a tier 7 tank. The M4A1 just went down. There's the IS-2. He's getting hammered now. That player probably isn't an expert with the IS-2. And we're just too far away to get accurate hits on the enemy. We need to get closer. There's the 2-minute warning. Could say to the M41, come with us. Only 2 enemy remaining, and they're both being boxed in to that corridor by our Panzerfeuerschmalten and, of course, the Crocodile and the P-43. We might lose one of those tanks, but I think the enemy's going to lose the battle. And now there's just one left, and he's gone. And that's the end of the game. It's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for Andromeda of No Retreat, No Surrender in the Fifi La Pew Pew, the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. In fact, he didn't get a single kill in the game, but he did hit a lot of the enemy. His win rate was 3,125, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he actually ran out of ammo in that game. Didn't realize until the end when he was driving towards the enemy. Yes, he was short of ammunition. The top scorer in the game when it came to hit points was the Panzerfeuerschmalten, who managed 1,914, followed by our Fifi, who managed 1,754. And in third place, we've got the VK3001P on the enemy team, who managed 1,722. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was the Panzerfeuerschmalten with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Crocodile and the T25-2. And on the enemy team, their VK3001P and their Fifi both managed 2 kills. And so did the OI on our team. You can see that Andromeda didn't get any kills at all. But when it came to base XP, he's in third place because the Panzerfeuerschmalten managed 1,081, the only player to get over 1,000. 930 went to the Crocodile, 847 went to Andromeda. He fired 30 rounds in that game. He got 13 direct hits on the enemy and none of them penetrated, but he did get 21 splashes. 1,754 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 352 hit points of damage assistance when he tracked somebody and then they got wiped out. On a premium count, he actually earned 87,861 credits from the game, including a 50,000 mission completion bonus and 6,860 experience points out of that one as well. I think a few of his shots, well, towards the start, he wasn't getting them bang on target. And again, he was being distracted a bit like Mr. B. who was looking away at a different target after only firing a couple of shots at it, when he could easily have dialed in again and got a very accurate shot to kill the guy off. But in this instance, it actually did help him to get the Confederate. So, yes, he did help his team. And towards the end of the game, when he did run out of ammunition, he decided it was probably better to go cap in the enemy cap area, or provide the enemy with another target which they would shoot at by preference. And then, of course, that will allow his teammates to get the kill shot that wins the game. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give the video and the previous video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.